Welcome to another episode of First Past the Post podcast. I'm delighted to say I'm with my mate Liam again tonight. Liam, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. And we got a few discussions to speak about, haven't we? Including the two stars that we saw in action last Sunday, Dysart, Dynamo and Bob Olinger.
Yeah, mate. Looking forward to it.
But yeah, just quickly before we get into those two, we've got to touch on the last tipping competition between the two of us, haven't we? The week I had was absolutely unbelievable.
Do we have to touch on it?
Come on, I don't think we'll beat that, will we?
Yeah, no, incredible, mate. From you, to be fair, done really well.
Yeah, we'll just quickly go through our last picks from Sandown, and so I ended up getting the first five races. I had Moulins, Clermont, Martello Sky, Farron Net, Gunsight Ridge, and Constitution Hill. So obviously they all got me 3 points, and then even in the penultimate race on the day, I had Final Nudge, who came second, where I tipped that up at 6-1, so that was 2 points, and then my last race, Volkovka, was nowhere, so I got no points, and my nap one as well.
Yeah, mate, sensational. Honestly, unreal tipping.
And yours, well, I don't think we should go over it.
The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, you had second place in the first one, Malacana, and then 0 points, 0 points, 0 points. You had Constitution Hill as well, and then your last two, there was no points there, and obviously your nap didn't win. So a pretty disappointing week from you.
Yeah, mate, not good at all. But hopefully we're back this week with a few more winners.
And obviously that takes a total now. I've clawed my way back, and I've actually taken the lead, 104 to 95. So a little bit of a gap there, but mind you, if you have a week like I do, then you see what happens.
Yeah, mate, still in it, not too far away. So, like I said, hopefully a couple more winners, and I'm back in the mix.
Yeah, best of luck, mate. So yeah, like we say at the beginning, we'll just quickly recap the performances of guys at Dynamo. Firstly, what did you make of him, mate? Because I thought it was mightily impressive. He just won it with absolute ease, didn't he?
Yeah, mate, brilliant performance. And honestly, you look at that Supreme field now, and there's so many horses in there that you think could have a chance. It really does look like an exciting race at the festival. And I say Supreme field because I do think that he's going to end up going there now rather than the Ballymore. So yeah, I was really impressed with him, and I did watch his performance before that race, and he won again by a similar distance, and just does it with ease, mate. He does look really impressive, and a real star.
And you mentioned there, of course, the Supreme, and I think that was sort of the topic of discussion between a lot of racing fans, wasn't it? After that performance, was he going to go there? Was he going to go to the Ballymore? But the way the betting suggests at the moment, with sort of his prices just sort of slowly cutting into, I think, what is he now for the Supreme?
I think 7-2.
7-2. So there you go. It sort of, if you're going off that, it obviously shows that he probably will go to the Supreme, and maybe Willie Mullins, other runner who was going to be in the Supreme, Sir Gerhard, might go to the Ballymore. I'm not so sure, but the way that race is sort of lining up as well. I mean, it's just getting. I mean, we've obviously spoken about it a few times now, but it's hard not to, because it's just improving all the time with the horses that are in there, and their run-ups before Cheltenham. They're just winning and winning with ease, aren't they?
Yeah, mate. And then you've got John Bon back out this weekend as well. Obviously Constitution Hill. In our last episode we spoke about him, but he won really impressively again in horrid conditions, and he looks a serious contender as well. So it's going to be a great race, mate. And I'm glad that I booked up for the Gold Cup day, but I really do wish that I booked up for the Supreme day as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first race of the week as well, isn't it? Supreme kicks it off. So
great way to get started.
Hopefully we just do see John Bon, Constitution Hill, Dysart, Dynamo, and And really, I suppose you want to kind of see Sir Gerhard in there as well, don't you?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'd love to see all four of them.
So yeah, obviously, like you say as well, John Bon back in action, which will obviously be his last run before Cheltenham on Saturday at Haydock in the Supreme Trial. I mean, I think he's currently 4-9 on, but you expect him to win again, and I'd like to see, sort of compared to last time out at Ascot, I would like to see a bit of a pace on, like in the race, because then I think we probably see more of a different sort of John Bond that we've seen recently. I think there's a lot more in him, but with the way they started in his race at Ascot, and you know what I mean, we haven't seen that yet, but I think we just got to get that out of him and see what he can do if he can win with ease like Constitution Hill has.
Yeah, mate, definitely. Like you say, he's still about to make his own run in his 2 starts over hurdles so far, and he's obviously sort of won both races the same way. So it would be good to see from a different tactical perspective how he sort of copes with different style of race. But yeah, completely agree with you there, mate.
Yeah, and obviously, Dysart Dynamo in the Moscow Flyer was absolutely brilliant. And of course, after that, we had Bob Olinger, didn't we, in the Kildare Norris Chase, where obviously we both watched it on the day, and we had a slight different opinion, didn't we, at the at the beginning of it? What did you make of him?
He obviously showed he had a big engine, but turning for home, I really thought he was in trouble at one point. But when the question was asked, he delivered, mate, and just goes to show the quality he has. But I did think at one point, turning for home, he was in a bit of trouble. And fair play to Capodanno as well. He sort of gave him a good run, and I think Henry the Bromhead will be really happy with that prep before Cheltenham. I don't think things could have gone much better for him, really.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, it just showed, didn't it, really, Bob Olinger's engine. He just, when he needs to turn it on, he really does. And I mean, look, he just sort of won easy in the end. He just sort of bolted up, and when he gets going, he's a machine, isn't he? He's an absolute machine.
Yeah, mate. It's just when he was turning for home and the whip was being shown already, I thought he could be in trouble here, but obviously just shows how much of a great horse he is. He sort of just turned it on when asked, pushing the button, and he was gone, and he won by some distance in the end as well.
Well, I said to you on the day, didn't I? Because I think in the race, was there three fences were taken out of the race, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I think that might have had an effect on him, because when they do that and you're watching it, and obviously they've got to, run round them, and there's a bit of like twisting and turning. I think that might have had an effect, because then obviously that's not a normal sort of route, is it, in a race? And then obviously you've done that, and then you're coming around the back straight. So yeah, that might have had an effect. But I think his jumping definitely improved this time out.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that as well.
And yeah, now we just look forward to seeing him again at Cheltenham now, don't we?
Yeah, mate. Honestly, not too long to go now, and I can't wait for it.
No,
just round the corner.
We'll definitely have a few. I think we'll have a few episodes out, won't we, for the big one that week?
Yeah, mate. That's the plan. That is the plan.
So they're the sort of standout performances from last Sunday. And obviously this weekend got a bit of decent racing actually, at both obviously Haydock and Ascot, and we're going to be talking about Ascot, previewing the races there for this weekend, giving you our selections and our naps as well for the weekend. So yeah, shall we get into it then?
Yeah, mate, I'll crack on. Starting in the 12:35, I've gone for Restitution. He was well beaten by some distance on his hurdling debut after switching from the flat. He was third to ICO that day, who looks to be a top prospect for this year's Triumph Hurdle at the festival. But Restitution, he's by Frankel. He's bred well, and he's dropping down in class here. And what's really grabbed my attention is his trainer Alan King won this race last year with Tritonic, who was also a horse who made the switch from the flat. And Tritonic actually won that race off of the same weight, and it looks like Alan King sort of taken the same route with Restitution here. So that sort of caught my eye, and that's why I've gone for him.
Yeah, interesting. I like the stat there about Alan King winning that race last year with Tritonic. Yeah, decent, mate. I've gone for Irish Hill, Paul Nicholls and Cobden. On the flat, it had a record of 2 wins and didn't win in 6. Only had 2 wins in 6. On the flat over in France, it won at Taunton on debut over hurdles, but it was pretty much gifted the race that day. And he was 3 lengths behind Greystone, who obviously is quite fancied in this race as well, when that rival took a final flight tumble. However, remains unexposed in general, and I think sort of, looking at the race, looks open to progress in this sort of competition. First time cheek pieces on as well applied for this race. So yeah, I've gone for Irish Hill.
Best of luck with that one, mate. Moving on to the 10:1, I've gone for Cat Tiger. He was really unfortunate last time out when he ran a cracking race and was beaten by a nose by Kaluki in the photo finish. He'll love the ground on Saturday, and I think if he runs anywhere close to that performance, he should win this race.
Yeah, and obviously you got David Maxwell on board, who is quite a unique jockey, to say the least.
Yeah.
He had that big win, didn't he, not so long ago?
Yeah, mate.
So good pick there. I've gone for Downtown Getaway. James Bowen riding for Peter Bowen. Useful winner over hurdles and left first 2 chase runs, well behind when taking advantage of his reduced mark at Foss Lass in December. Sort of he needs to prove that he can, get a few good runs together now. And I think I'd be happy to take on your favourite Cat Tiger, I think, with Downtown Getaway. So for me, I think that obviously, his wins over hurdles, I think that it shows that he is capable. He just needs to sort of become a bit more consistent in this sort of field. And I've gone with him. And obviously, if you're looking at the weights as well, mine's 11 stone 1, where yours is 11 stone 12, which, if I'm right in saying, is carrying top weight as well in this race. So
mate.
Downtown Getaway for me.
Moving on to the next race, the 1:45. I've gone for Unexpected Party. He's been knocking on the door lately, coming runner-up in his last 2 races. He's stepping up in class here, but dropping down in trip, which could make all the difference. Harry Skelton takes the ride for his brother Dan Skelton. They're both operating at a 20% strike rate over the last 14 days, and I expect Unexpected Party to go one better this time. I think he'll get his head in front.
Yeah, obviously you got 2 seconds there, haven't you? Last two races. I've opted for something different. Again, I've gone for Gary Clermont for John Joe O'Neill Jr. and obviously John Joe O'Neill. A form looking like 1, 2, 3. So you hope he sort of bounces back and can get his head in front this time again. But if you look at his last run, he was in touch with the leaders and sort of tracked them all the way going into the home turn, and sort of kept on, but was sort of like held in the running. And last time out as well, the jockey actually said that he hung left a bit. So if you think he's hopefully being schooled this time round, and he's hopefully improved from that last time out. If he doesn't sort of hang left, hopefully he can sort of be in the mix with things. I think 100% at least. So Gary Clermont for me.
Decent, mate. Moving on to the next race, the 2:20. I've gone for Anything for Love. She ran a cracker last time out, when second by a length and 3/4 to Martello Sky. I think that's excellent form on paper. Steps back up in trip here, but she's proven over the go-in and the distance. I think she has a great chance and at a bigger price as well.
I was just going to say, looking currently 11-1.
Yeah, mate, I think that's a great price, especially each way.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, you've only got the 6 runners, haven't you? But I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, I wouldn't personally go with that. But no, I mean, no, fair enough, mate. Yeah, I've gone for Ollie's Wishes, a horse actually I'm quite fond of.
Yeah.
When it won well, not so long ago. You know, enjoying the fine campaign last term, like I mentioned, and obviously returned well when winning the 2 miles Weatherby's Mares listed event, and sort of won that quite well, and looked as if there was still a lot left. And you know, that form definitely works out well. But you know, obviously he faces a bit of a tough ask against the males here. But I think she sets a standard actually, and you know, you go back to that form last term. I think that, you know what I mean, that goes a long way. And I think with only the 6 runners, yeah, I'll be very confident in her taking this, or definitely having a great chance of winning this against the boys.
Came behind your mate Goshen last time out, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you know, I'll ignore that last run.
Moving on to the 255, I've gone for Palmer's Hill. Course and distance winner here last time out, where he showed he had a big engine, powered clear after the last to win by 9.5 lengths. He's bidding for a hat trick here, and I still think he's running off a respectable mark. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I've gone for the same actually. I can't really say much more than that. Obviously, form reads really well with last 2 runs, winning both, of course, and sort of, you know, kept on strongly in his last run behind Diego Deschamps at Ascot. So that form reads quite well, and with John Joe O'Neill Jr. on board, I think he could. Yeah, I think that's a really strong favourite as well. So yeah, I've gone for Palmer's Hill as well, mate.
Yeah, mate, agreed with you there.
Now the big
moving
one.
On to the big one, yeah. The 335, I've gone for Shishkin. He faces his biggest test yet in Energumene, but I think Shishkin is a completely different animal, and he'll win because he's a better horse. Simple as that.
I mean, we'll obviously touch on this, you know, speak about it in a bit more detail. I mean, obviously, you've only got the 4 runners, Moolah Gold, First Flow, and obviously the two big boys. But you know what? I've got a funny feeling, mate. I mean, the Irish really have strong thoughts about Energumene, and I believe this could be the horse that could cause a bit of a surprise to Shishkin. I mean, we've seen it. Sorry, we haven't seen it, of course, yet, but we're going to see it on Saturday with these 2 finally coming up against each other. But he's so exciting, and obviously, you know, he's unbeaten in 5 starts over fences as well, and he was really impressive winner of the Grade 2 at Cork last month, jumping really well. And I wouldn't say, you know, you can't not write him off, can you?
I mean, he's definitely got a chance, but I think there's levels, mate, and I just don't think there's anything on Shishkin's level out there. So I can't go against my boy Shishkin. Got to go with the English trained horse as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling, and you know, for today, I think for Saturday, sorry, I think obviously this is where we're going to see what could well be the outcome come Cheltenham in the champion chase. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if Energumene wins, mate, I think we might see the champion chase winner. I tell you.
And same with Shishkin there. But just one question: do you think they'll both line up and start? No late withdrawals
for this weekend? I mean, they've both obviously been entered and declared now. I mean, how disappointing would it be to sort of see a very late withdrawal, which would only, you know, put it down to the 3 runners, and if either one goes, I mean, God, the odds would be sort of 1 to 10, or on one of them
Yeah.
to win. But I hope not, because this is obviously what everyone's been waiting for, and it should be some race, and hopefully it lives up to expectation. And I want to see them both coming down to the final, to the final fence, and both at it neck and neck, and then hopefully we can have a brilliant rematch between the two at Cheltenham.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you there. And then Shishkin pulls clear by about 10 lengths.
Well,
But yeah,
we'll
it'd be
see.
a cracker, mate.
But don't get me wrong,
Shishkin,
Shishkin, he is unreal. He is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I've just got a feeling, mate, and I'll happily, Saturday, I'll happily go for Energumene.
Best of luck, mate. Moving on to
the last race.
The last race at Ascot, the 405. I've gone for complete unknown. He's still searching for his first win over hurdles, having been placed in all of his starts over hurdles so far. He's been knocking on the door, and he's been unlucky in a couple of his last races. He was hampered in one, and he made a mistake in another where it looked like he could have gone on to win both of them. For that reason, I'm going to go with him here.
Interesting. I've gone for. You might have to help me pronounce the name of my horse here, mate. Gallia de Letu for Skeltons. She is. I think she's an interesting one. Definitely enters calculations. Scored easily on her hurdling debut in 8-runner novice at Wetherby 27 days ago, where she absolutely cruised clear from 3 out. Like I say, on her debut hurdling. And obviously, decent point-to-point winner. And I think there's a lot more to come, a lot more left in the tank. And it looks an interesting horse for the Skeltons here. And I think if she was to sort of win this, then it could be an exciting horse going forward. Obviously, would make it 2 out of 2. But yeah, I think the way she won sort of so impressively on her debut makes me feel like she's going to definitely have a great chance of not necessarily winning so easily again, but definitely having a big chance of taking this. So, Gallia de Letu, mate, for me in the last.
Best of luck with that, mate. And moving on to my nap now, I've gone for Royal Pagaille in the Peter Marsh, the 235 at Haydock. He won the race by 16 lengths last year off of £7 lower. He ran well on seasonable reappearance in conditions that never really favoured him. Came second to Aputard that day, but he'll get his ideal conditions here again, and I expect him to run a big race.
Yeah, I was saying to you earlier before we started recording, I might actually have a nap in the same race as you, which would have made things interesting. But no, I've gone against that. I've actually had a look, and I've gone to Haydock as well. But for the first race in the 1250, I've gone for Manila Drama. Donald McCain, Brian Hughes, a horse who has a very smart form over hurdling when winning 2 miles at Uttoxeter in the novice handicap before a good effort at Carlisle. And actually, when running at Sandown, the horse actually lost a shoe, which obviously had massive effects on this horse. And I think this is important to mention as well. This horse is actually stepping up in trip, and I think the step up in trip will definitely suit, won't be a problem. I know you've obviously got Papa Tango Charlie in this, who's obviously going for the 4-timer, and he was a big money purchase. But Manila Drama should really bounce back to form up in trip, and I think has got a great chance. And the horse is obviously, pedigree out of Flemmingsworth as well, which is quite exciting. So overall looks good, and has won 4 of his 9 races and has 4 seconds as well. So Manila Drama for me in the 1250 at Haydock.
Best of luck, mate.
So we look forward to that. Decent weekend of racing ahead. And just to mention, if all goes well, we should be having our first jump jockey on, shouldn't we, Monday evening?
Yeah, we got an episode lined up with Nick Schofield, which I can't wait for. And if you haven't already, please go and check out our review we had with Fergal O'Brien. It was a really good episode, mate. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was excellent. If you haven't checked that out, like Liam says, go over to our YouTube channel, First Past the Post Podcast, and check that out. And obviously, like the videos, subscribe would be massively appreciated. And if, of course, you want to follow us as well, we're on Instagram at First Past the Post Pod and Twitter as well at FPTP Podcast. So we'd appreciate any follows on there as well. So thank you everyone for listening, especially to that last one we did with Fergal O'Brien. Really, really good. Went down well. And yeah, like I say, if all goes well, Monday evening we should have an episode out with Nick Schofield.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Cheers.